Hello everyone. Today I will be discussing you this lead code problem, and this is the implement of queue using stacks. So this is an important and a very basic type of question which will help you all to understand the concept of stacks, how you will use stacks to implement a queue. So in this question we are given this is an easy level problem, but this is a problem of a big FANG company, and in this question you have to write this you have to complete this function, and this is a class, and here a class is made and class name is myQ, and it is implementing some functions. This function is public myQ, and you have to write the code in this bracket, and there are five functions which you have to complete, which is the push, pop, peek and empty. So you have to return this, so that the question here it is saying that you have to implement a first in first out FIFO queue. We all know that it represents a first in first out. Queue represents that we all know that queue a queue is like in the assembly, we in schools in assembly we see that a queue is formed in which the first student is standing in front of the queue. If we have to remove the element from the queue, then it will be the first children or the first element. And in the stacks we know that if this is a stack, this is the first element, then second, then third, then fourth. It's like putting books one by one upon one. So this is a stack, and if we want to remove the element of the stack, then we will have to remove from the top. So first element will be from the top, then the second, then the third, and then the first in gets last out in case of a stack, and in case of a queue it's followed that first in first out property. So you have to implement push function, you have to implement peek function. What is push? Push means adding stacks, adding elements to the queue. We have to implement queue using stacks. So we should keep this in mind that we have to use two stacks to form a queue. So how we will do this? We have to if we have to write this function void push int x, it pushes the elements x to the back of the queue. So how you will implement this function? So first of all you need to make two stacks to implement this. So let me code it for you. So we are forming stack first equal to like this, and the second stack will be of integer second, and we will be initializing this stack of integer. No, like this we don't have to implement like this. First is equal to new stack. We are implementing this inside of a function. First is equal to new stack of integer, second is equal to new stack of integer, so now we have formed this much part of the question is done. So we have formed two stacks, and with the help of stacks, with these two stacks named as first and second, we have to do one thing, like we have to push. If we want to push, then how we will push the element to the first named stack? We will first dot push, what we have to push? X. Here we have to push, and this stack, this x will be pushed at the last position, that is at the top of the stack. And we have to implement this only because here it is saying that pushes the element to the back of the queue. So whether it is queue or a stack, we have to push. The stack also pushes the element to the bottom, and this is also saying in this question that queue also pushes the element to the back of the queue. So this is all we have to do in this part of the code. So now comes the part of pop. So Here what is it, here what's written is that int pop, and it removes the element from the front of the queue and returns it. So it returns the front element of the queue. So what is the front element? So like we have one stack and this is the second stack. First stack, this is like this, and when one first element, second element, third element and fourth element, we have to return this element which is at the bottom, because queue implements like this. When we are talking of a queue, so in case of a queue we have to return this element. So how we will get this element which is at the bottom? We will take another stack which is a reference stack, and from this stack top we will take this element from the top and we will take it to the first bottom of the second stack. We will push it to the bottom of the first stack. Then from the next top of the first stack we will take it to the second top of the second stack. Then again we will take it and push at this, and then again, and then here. So we will get, and now the element which was at the bottom of the first stack now comes to the top of the second stack. So in this case, now if we have to peek, then we will write that peek second, return second dot peek, and if we have to pop, then we will return second dot pop. So it's like, it's that easy. So it's that easy. For I hope you all understood. So if you didn't, so let's see the code. So public int pop. So here what we have to write is, we have to first check that whether the second is empty or not. Second dot is empty, we have to check, and if it's true that second is empty, then we have to use a while loop till what will the condition? Till first is not empty, first stack is not empty, becomes empty. Till that point we have to, what we have to do is second dot push first dot pop. We have to do this. We have to take the element from the top of the first stack and we have to push it to the second stack at the bottom. So we have done this, and after the pop we have to return it. Return second dot pop, and we have to do this. Now comes the turn of peek. So what we will be writing in peek? We will be writing the same code in peek also, but here we have to write peek. And in terms of what we have to check for boolean is empty or not, so we just have to return by checking that if both the functions are empty or not, both the stacks are empty or not. So we have to just see that is empty and second dot is empty or not. So we will be now trying to run this code. Let's see if it's running or not. Oh my god, it's error. So here we have done little mistake. Trying to run again error, again that same mistake. So let's hope for the best. So yeah, we got it. Let's submit it. The net is quite slow today, I think. Yeah, it's running. So thank you. I hope you understood this concept very well, and if you didn't, you can again watch this video. Bye bye. Thank you and have a nice